Shalom, peace and blessings to everyone. First of all, to the Jew, or to more rightly called the Hebrew Israelites, the bloodline ones, the 12 tribes. It's kind of a 13 tribe, and it's me, man. Not that I'm complaining. The tribe of Dan. We're not mentioned with 144,000 in the Book of Revelations. YASHAYA knows best why this is, but I think it's because we're the ones bringing the main ones. Obviously, we're all playing our part, and YASHAYA is the main judge, the only owner and the only ruling day of the day of judgment, the day of resurrection, the day of recompense. That's actually from the Quran. When I was deceived, I still believed in YASHAYA, or Isa, as they call him in the Quran, and I never believed that blasphemous line in the Quran that he did not die on the execution stake, the cross, that someone took his place. And then in the hadiths or whatever they say it was Judas. I never believed that. And yet, when you're schizophrenic, you can believe two or more conflicting ideas at the same time. That's the best way to explain it. So, there you go. And the doctors, the psychiatrists, or psychic tricks, as I call them, with their medicine based on Nazi drugs, probably fallen angel technology, the wrong use of herbs, i.e. witchcraft. Their drugs are dangerous. They call them antipsychotics. If they were using this twisted English language properly, they would call them pro-psychotics. The side effects on the back of the packets, or when they give you the injection, they warn you, distorted thinking, confusion, paranoia, hallucinations, suicidal tendencies. When I was young, I thought suicidal tendencies was just the name of the punk band that I used to like, you get me? So yeah, it's dangerous. At the same time, I'm not a qualified doctor, but I have been healed by YASHAYA and that Jesus, and there's no better physician than him. So I'm qualified spiritually, but this world, for the most part, does not recognise my qualifications. And there's an old reggae song, Jamaican song, he who feels it knows it, So if you're feeling impressed by demons and you want my help, I'm a bit busy tonight. One of the things that can happen when you're oppressed, demons like to live in mess and dirt, and my house was getting tidy, and then I got back into being a bit down, had some issues on Facebook with people, and I let it get to me, So you can see I just started cleaning up. That's all my headscarves, because I believe in covering your hair if you're a woman. I just started getting things nice and got some new throws for my sofa, because as you can see it's really old and there's a tear there, and now I've got it all messed up again. And I've been really inspired, was it last night or the last couple of nights, by GOCC. That's my favourite YouTube teaching channel, and also they have good music. Gathering of Christ Church, they're Hebrew Israelites, but they're very welcoming to Gentiles, and I actually thought I was a Gentile nation for a long time, Tribe of Dan, we're the Celtic tribes now, Ireland, where my dad's from, Scotland, that's my mum's people, Wales, only been on holiday to there, the little twist of, do you call it Hispanic? That's a great-grandmother from Chile. And the way that we're doing the judgment, I believe, this is what I feel, think, and just intuit, and what the Ruach HaKodesh, the mother of all mothers, as Brother Bronze, also connected with JCC, calls her in his song Ruach, RUWACH, that's what she's telling me. And of course, it all started with YASHAYA over 10 years ago. I didn't know he was well. Suddenly, I didn't see him or hear an audible voice, which was good, because I was diagnosed on and off with, I was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and then you get like an epic, you get it kind of really bad, and then you're stable for a little while. The demons like to play games like that, Yeah, demon is mental illness. Some of us, we do have a chemical imbalance in our brain. They prove that by the kind of x-rays and things they can do in your brain. But if you've been taking the medication, that can affect your brain. They're messing these psychic psychic trickster, psychiatrists, messing with witchcraft and things they don't understand. Some of them have good intentions and they are trying to help. So I have tried to explain to them how YASHAYA has been healing me, and every time I even talk to my GP, the general practitioner, I always have a testimony. It's very important that we have a testimony. That's why YASHAYA healed you, so you can heal others. Freely you have received, now freely go and give. And they overcome the wicked one by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. It's caused by unrepentant sin and unhealed trauma. YASHAYA can heal you of anything. The other thing, I had diagnosed bipolar schizoaffective disorder. They changed the diagnosis to, after a while, that's schizophrenia and bipolar. chronic depression. I've got the cure for depression now. As you can see, I'm starting to feel a bit depressed again. I let it get for me. Some people on Facebook really nice to me, but you all know people take kindness for weakness. They've done it with Messiah, they're going to do it with us, with the saints, you know. And just because I got my disability benefit back paid, I didn't get it for about 2 or 3 months, and I had to borrow a lot of money. I was a couple of thousand in debt, you know, from my good friend Comrade Adams from the Socialist Party. I got kicked out of from being too much of an anarchist. And some people are kind and they appreciate the help. They know that I'm a child of God, and that's why I'm giving them the help, you know, and that it's not good to keep giving people charity non-stop. It's happened to me. It makes you dependent. Some people might say that's a bit rich. She's just on the dole, the rock and roll, sponging off the taxpayer, unemployed. But I'm really not fit to work. I'm a lot better than I was, but I'm not. I'm laundering. If I wasn't praying all the time and reading the Bible and things like that, I'd be terrible. I've got a criminal record, a mental health record, and a drug record. Who's going to give me a job? Why should I waste my time, British public, who pay the taxes and whose opinion I respect just that bit more than the government? And I feel more responsible to you, because it is unfair. I get more money than some of you that work and have children, but I do share it a lot, you know. What good is it to you if I'm in a job when I could go and for all these interviews when I won't get the job, and I could be at home? They've done experiments. Even if you're not a Christian, listen to this. Just groups of people getting together in local areas, meditating on positive words like peace, love, justice, joy, and it changes. You know, the crime rates have gone down. There's tangible ways that you can prove the power of the mind. It's all encoded in the Bible. And there's hidden books of the Bible that were taken out. GOCC, Gathering of Christ Church, know about this. Damien Powell, one of my favourite independent teacher, not associated with a group or a church. He knows about them. I was deceived. I read the Pistis Sophia, and they say that the God of this world, YASHAYA, is Yahweh, another name for him. I'm quite confused about that. GOCC had a good video, but I didn't watch all of it. I have ADHD a little bit, so some of their videos are too deep and too long for me. I used to watch them in pieces, but I'm getting a lot better now. And they said Yahweh is a bad name, but Damien Powell calls him Yahweh. But I prefer YASHAYA anyway, so it's not really a big issue for me. I don't want to get caught up in names. I don't know why I even said that. You can see I get nervous. I just chit-chat, and I'm a bit lonely, so I look for fellowship. And then people on Facebook were taking advantage of my kindness. And even though I explained to them that I've had no money for 2 days, I had to borrow money for cigarettes, and my poor brother in Ghana got malaria for the 2nd time. I desperately needed money for a little bit of medicine for him, and it's no fault of his own. He's not lazy or anything. He had a small bit of farming land. He used to send me photos of his produce, like his fruit and veg. It was beautiful. So obviously he's a very spiritual person, and that helps you connect with the Mother Earth. I don't worship her. I'm not a pagan. I was into it a little bit until I knew YASHAYA, Jesus. But I respect the earth. She's what YASHAYA created to nourish us. That's in the book of Genesis at the start of your Bible. And then, but he couldn't make much of a profit because some of the women in Ghana, obviously not all of you sisters, I'm sure some of you are good Christian, God-fearing women that set fair prices, but just in a certain area where he was, the local Ghanaian African women were overcharged, not giving him enough money for his produce, and he couldn't keep up the rent and got kicked out. So I've been trying sometimes to put him up in a B&B, and you can imagine the malaria comes from the mosquitoes, and now he's on the streets. My phone's not working. I'm just about to order a new one. I borrowed some money, so I hope I'll have one tomorrow. I'm on my tablet. There is a way to get WhatsApp, but it says you have to scan your phone. And even when my phone was working, I can't work out how to do those scans. I'm 54, not very good at technology. Also, apart from the street and the psychiatric drugs, 2 sides of the CIA coin: criminals in action, big pharma make the profit of the psychiatric drugs. And then what about all those couple of planes connected with the CIA have crushed in South and Central America years ago, but it's probably still happening with loads of cocaine on board, you know. Rick Ross, I'll be the last face you see before you die. I don't think so, because I'm never going to die. I've already died and come to life in slow motion. 3 more gallons. The book of Psalms, especially Psalm 23, mate. I don't just walk it, I've been living it. I've been in hell. Shaman and the ancient people know you're in the passion, your soul can be in hell, like King David in Psalms, while your body is still here on earth. Your witness scripture is King David. Great is your Rahim, mercy, O Adonai, Lord. and you have delivered my Nepesh, my soul, from the lowest level of Sheol. Now I'm seated in heavenly places. Your biblical reference, Isaiah, just that you're seated in heavenly places. There's a lot more to it, but I haven't read that Isaiah for a while. Okay, I'm going to go and clean my flat up. But the whole point, apartment, if you're in America or some of the African states, Gentile nations, the whole point was how to be a virtuous, proper woman. As you can see, I'm a bit of a tomboy. My house is a bit of a mess. I'm teaching a little bit of Torah, which probably is not too good with some of you brothers and sisters that are Hebrew Israelites, and also some of the Gentiles. But Yeshaya said to me, the whole point of Apostle Paul, I'm sure some of you would agree with this and probably already thought it, you know, because I have noticed a couple of female teachers. You can teach women and other sisters, women and children, you know, even men, children to a certain age. So I'm not in a church setting, I'm just independent. I chat a lot about GOCC, I can't help it, they're a big part of my life, but I'm not representing them, I'm recommending them. There's a difference, isn't there? It's like when they give health advice and they say, and legal advice, they always have to have you always have to have a disclaimer like on GOCC, and I should have the same thing. I haven't been to medical college, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, you know, I'm just talking from my general experience and a little bit of research, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm just giving legal advice. That's not me, that's GOCC. So my take on that is, I love GOCC, check them out, you'll love them too, they've got so much to offer, but I'm not representing them. We just agree, I agree with everything they say, but they probably don't agree with everything I say, which is good, no one should, even I don't agree with everything I say, but I'm a work in progress, so I'm here to give you hope. So if you're a woman or even a man that thinks you can't clean your place up, watch this place over the coming days. I'll be doing little videos without the chat, just concentrate on housework. The aspects of the Proverbs women I've got right. I'm sexually virtuous. I used to have living boyfriends. I no longer have any sexual desire. I confess I even had a spirit husband. I was deceived. I thought he was with Yeshaya. He was my soulmate, my twin flame, and he was going to meet me later in the flesh, and we were going to get married forever. But it says in the Bible, when the Pharisees, or those Sadducees who don't believe in eternal life, and they said to Yeshaya about the woman, and she married a man, he died, she married his brother, and so he died, so on. Who will she have in heaven? And Yeshaya said, you do not know the scriptures, that they are not given in marriage in heaven, but they are as the angels. And we know the good angels, Ashamani, Malachi, Shamana, that are all around us. There's been more coming since Jacob's Ladder Torah reading a few months ago. I've done a good video on that. Good by my standards, maybe not yours. What was I saying? Yeah, obviously they don't have sexual relationships or desires, but we all know what those wicked fallen angels done. So obviously this one that was masquerading as my coming husband, was a fallen angel, and you have to test the spirits. I'm going to go and clean up, and then the other things about being a Proverbs woman that I can remember is that you're honest. I'm very honest. I've been on YouTube for a year. You can see at the start, I didn't wait until I was born again and looking all pretty and smart. I'll show you the state of my house. I am a bit ashamed, but Yeshua asked me to do anything, and I shema him, or shema, hear, obey, and act accordingly. I used to be very rebellious to my parents, to school, to the police, to the government. I was an anarchist. I wanted an armed overthrow of the system, an end to imperialism and colonialism, a free island without the 6 states being held by the English. I'm second generation Irish, I haven't even got a Irish accent, so I'm a bit of a plastic paddy. The other dream I had was to go to South or Central America like Che Guevara in Cuba and have a revolution there. I believed in the armed struggle, but you know, a lot of innocent people get killed. I'm sure a lot of Irish people that are Irish in the South don't approve of the INLA, the Irish National Liberation Army, and what the IRA, the Irish Republican Army, are doing now. Back in the day, they were really good, they were righteous, they were a morally correct army. And Immortal Technique that I used to listen to, and even had a midlife crisis, a crush on him, because I thought he was a man of a higher, but he's not. He speaks about Prophet Muhammad as well as Jesus, you know. Hopefully he's come out of it. I do pray for him sometimes, and all the other people that deceive me. I've never once blamed him. It says in the Bible, if you're deceived, it's because your heart is not right, you'll be. I was also deceived by Rastafari. I've given up dope, that helps a lot. I testify lots to Rastafari, but they're so far gone, they don't believe. I'm going to do what I say, because the Proverbs woman sticks to her word and clean up. I'll be back later. My aim is to clean the sofa. And then I have a little present to myself that YASHAYA chose with me online shopping, and I'll be opening that on camera for my rewards, and hopefully you can join in my joy. If you're a hater, you'll probably be like Judas to say, oh, she doesn't deserve that, she could have sold that and give the money to the poor. But I do what YASHAYA says. I don't fear man or cat or demon. I only fear a higher. At the same time, if you're with God, I want to please you. Even if you're not with a higher, I want to be pleasing to you, because then you'll see how happy I am, and you'll seek his panai as well, his face. Bye for now. Shut up, Michelle.